I didn't expect my mother's voice to sound so entitled that day. "Pack your bags," she said, her tone as casual as if she were telling me dinner was ready. The laughter from the guests froze. My sister Lena stood in the middle of my new living room, the one I designed, paid for, and built from the ground up. Her wine glass lifted like she'd just made a toast. "This house," she said, smiling like it was already hers, "is perfect for my kids. The backyard, the school district, the space, it's exactly what we've been looking for." I stared at her, then at my mother. Their faces mirrored the same thing I'd seen my whole life. Entitlement disguised as family love. But this time, I didn't flinch. I smiled. Slow, deliberate, then reached into my pocket and unlocked my phone. "Before I pack," I said, "you might want to see this." And that's where my story truly begins. At 18, I learned that family isn't defined by blood. It's defined by loyalty. And my family had none. When I got accepted into university, I was ecstatic. Full scholarship, a way out. But the night before I left, I found my suitcase dumped outside the house. My clothes scattered across the lawn like trash. Mom's voice echoed through the doorway. "You're 18 now. Time to make it on your own. We can't keep feeding you when your sister has kids to care for." Lena stood behind her, arms folded, pretending to look sorry. She wasn't. She was already moving her things into my old room. That night, I slept in my car. The next morning, I drove to campus with everything I owned in a trash bag. That was the day I promised myself. One day, I'll have a home no one can take away. Fast forward 12 years. I'd done well. Tech contracts, investments, long nights building something from nothing. When I finally bought my house, $960,000, all mine, I thought maybe, just maybe, they'd see I wasn't the extra mouth anymore. I invited them to the housewarming because I wanted peace. Closure, maybe. But old habits die hard. A week before the event, I overheard Lena on the phone when she thought she was on mute during a family group call. Mom asked, "Did you convince him yet?" Lena laughed. "Oh, he's easy. We'll just guilt him like always. Once Mom starts crying, he'll cave. He always does." I didn't hang up. I listened. Every word. That's when I decided peace wasn't what I wanted anymore. Justice was. I didn't yell. I didn't confront. I planned. Every visit, every text, I let them think I was still the obedient son, the forgiving brother. Meanwhile, I was preparing, quietly, methodically. I added one clause to the property deed, a legally binding trust. It stated that, in the event of my death or incapacitation, the house would automatically go to charity, not family. I recorded conversations, saved texts, and made sure every manipulative thing they said had proof. I wanted a moment when they'd be forced to face themselves, when the illusion of control would crumble, publicly, perfectly. And what better stage than my housewarming party? The day came. The air smelled of roasted garlic, fresh paint, and pretense. Lena arrived in her usual designer knockoffs, her husband trailing behind, carrying nothing but an ego. Mom came with that fake smile she wore for strangers, not realizing I'd invited a few of those strangers myself. Among the guests were two of my lawyer friends, my real estate agent, and my financial advisor, all conveniently present, all witnesses. I let them settle, let the laughter and champagne flow. Then, like clockwork, Lena started circling. "You know," she said loudly, "this place really suits my family. My boys need space to run around. And you're always so busy with work." Mom chimed in, placing her hand on my arm. "Sweetheart, you don't need all this space. It's too much for one person. You can always get something smaller." Then came the line. "Pack your bags," she said, with that finality I remembered from 18. Let your sister move in. Be a good brother." And that's when I smiled. I turned to the crowd, half my guests pretending not to listen, the other half wide-eyed. "Funny you say that, Mom," I began, calm but sharp, because I was thinking of showing everyone a little something. I unlocked my phone and mirrored the screen to the big TV in the living room. A document appeared, the property deed. "This house," I said, "isn't just mine. It's under a legal trust, which means no one here," I glanced at them, "can ever claim it." Lena frowned. "What are you talking about?" I swiped again. Recordings played. Her voice, Mom's voice, the phone call. Their laughter, their manipulation. Word for word. The room went silent except for Mom's sharp inhale. "Remember when you kicked me out at 18? I asked quietly. "When you said you couldn't feed me because Lena had kids? That was the night I learned what family meant to you." Lena's voice trembled. "You set us up." "No," I cut her off. "You exposed."